Good day to you. You are welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be explaining what I title Rebuilding Yourself. What do I mean by rebuilding yourself? Rebuilding yourself is to transform yourself to a better person, mentally, physically, emotionally, or professionally. For you to become a better person, whether mentally, physically, emotionally, or professionally, it's simply telling us you have to rebuild yourself. There are some ways you must rebuild yourself, which is known unto you. And there are four ways where you can rebuild yourself. Number one way of rebuilding yourself is self-reflection. Number two way is what? Letting go. Number three is growing mindset. Number four is what? Is what I call taking action. The number one is you have to do a self-reflection. All these things is going to be explained in details. Let me take it for instance. Let me explain that number one, which is a self-reflection. When we talk about self-reflection, it's simply telling us that you must reflect on whatever you are doing in one area or the other. When we talk about self-reflection simply is telling us that you must reflect. There is a must call yourself down and do a breakdown of what you are doing or what you are doing that is right or what you are doing that is not right. When we talk about self-reflection simply means you call yourself, you look inward, you do a examine of yourself thoroughly. Let me give you an instance. Someone that is a smoker, for instance, can never be overcoming that smoker or rebuild himself in a proper way if he does not sit down and think, this smoking that I'm taking, this sugar that I'm taking is dangerous to my health, is not good for me, this and that will happen if I'm doing this kind of thing. That's number one. Number two is that someone that spend lavishly, for example, someone that spend money without control, doesn't have control over money, he just like spending anyhow. The person have to call himself to order. Okay, this thing that I'm doing is not good. I don't like it. I don't want to do this kind of thing. It's not a good thing for me. That's one. He will have done a self-reflection. When we talk about self-reflection is simply telling us that you look inward, you look into yourself. What are the things that you are doing that is not okay? What are the things that you are doing that you're not okay, that you want to work on? That's self-reflection. You must work on it. Or someone that is an humanizer, for instance, you have to stop that habit, because that habit was not started overnight. It started in a day, and the person have to look at this habit that I'm doing is not what is not good for my head, is not good in this way. So when you do self-reflection, you look inward, you check yourself thoroughly by doing the needful, by checking. You leave no stone untouched. You do everything accordingly. That's what we call self-reflection. When we talk about self-reflection is you take that thing, you take it little by little, you examine it, you look at it. What is the cause of this thing? What am I doing that is not okay? That's self-reflection. When we do self-reflection, it is you do thorough examination of what is in your life that you don't want. That's number one. Number two is you let go. What are the habits or the thing that you are doing that is not good? You have to let that thing to go, because once you understand, you let go. Let go does not happen overnight. After you are doing your self-reflection, the next thing is to let it go. You let go of that habit, you neglect it, you ignore it, you abandon it. These are the habits that you don't want, and once you don't want that habit, you let the habit go without issue. You let the habit go without any problem, because once you don't understand that you have to let something go. Because for example, I gave an instance, someone that is a smoker, he can let go by what? By not even touch that thing again, by not going towards that thing again, by not doing it again, by not repeating it again. Someone that is a smoker, you want to like taking cigarettes. But if you have let that thing go, you will have let that thing go to not to overcome it. Because once you have let that thing to go, there is no issue about that. You must learn how to let go. That's number two. You must learn how to let go. You have to forget everything. Whether it is a mistake that you have done, it is a failure that you have done, it is something that you are realizing that suppose I don't so hate, you are not doing it, and you are not realizing it now. You have to let it go. That's your past. You have to let your past go. You don't affect your future, that you will not affect your future. If you let go, it simply means that you have overlooked that area. You have abandoned your past. You have let that thing to go, so that that thing will not be able to what? To harm you, to not be able to what? To bring you down or to weigh you down. Letting go is very, very important, because we must let that thing to go. If you don't let that thing to go, we're talking about self-rebuilding. How do you rebuild yourself? You must rebuild it by let go. That's number 2. You must let some certain things go in your life, so that there won't be issue. But if you don't allow some certain things to go in your life, there will be a serious issue. Because you must understand that letting go is very, very important. It's not something that you can overemphasize. And number 3 is the growing mindset. This area is very, very critical. That's why some people miss it. When we talk about growing mindset, you have to learn a new skill. You have to learn a new things that you are not learned before. Like someone that may not be able to learn some skill, you have to learn some skill. Your mind have to improve. Let me tell you that word. Your growing mindset. We're talking about number 3, which is growing mindset. You must let your mindset be growing. You must let it come. You must grow it. You must develop that mindset. When we talk about developing your mindset, that's why you need to learn a skill. You need to read some book. You need to listen to audio tape. You need to attend seminar. You have to do a lot of things. I mentioned it. I said, is that physically, professionally, emotionally, mentally? When I talk about become a better person, how do you rebuild yourself? How do you become a better person? So you must there must be a growing mindset. You must grow your mind to a state that you will let something to go. You must grow your mind to a state that is very, very paramount to you. You must grow your mind. The mind you have must have a growing mindset. We're talking about mind. You must control that mind. You must be able to develop that mind to a certain level. You can't say, because if you don't develop it, you are not rebuilding yourself. So self-rebuilding talk about some area, a lot of aspects, and which is a growing mindset, which is number 3. You have to let that thing to grow. You have to let that mindset to be grow. You don't want to sit down and you're not doing anything. You must let that mindset grow. And once that mindset begin to grow, you'll be able to succeed. But you can't say because you don't want to do anything, you have to grow. Once there's a vacuum in that mind that already been left over, and you must fill that vacuum by learning a skill, or by reading a book, or developing some habit or character that you need to develop, so that when you develop that habit or character, it will be able to work for you. When we talk about growing mindset is very, very important in this self-rebuilding. That's number 3. Self-rebuilding is very, very important. You have to rebuild yourself. Whether there is an habit you are doing before that is not okay, you must rebuild yourself, and you must have a growing mindset. Your mind must be growing daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You have to develop it to a state that whereby you can do things, and you will have grown that mind to some certain level. You must understand that you need a growing mindset. Your mind must be growing. You must develop it. And how do you develop it? You fill it with book. Either you read book, or you learn a new skill, or you learn something or you that time that you are less busy, that you are not doing anything, you have to make sure that your mind is being occupied with some things new, or something that you can be able to point at. So when you have a growing mindset, your mind will be will be okay. You can be able to rebuild yourself, and your mind cannot be here on there or scatter. Your mind will not be running scatter. So you must understand that you need a growing mindset. That growing mindset is very, very important for you as a person, because self-rebuilding, you have to transform yourself to a better person. That's the purpose. Someone cannot say because you want to rebuild yourself and doesn't learn a lot of things I need to learn. You have to learn a lot of things, and you have to pay a lot of sacrifice. You must understand self-rebuilding is very, very important for you as a person. You need self-rebuilding, and you don't need to disturb anything by by disturbing or working on yourself. That's the only thing you need. You have to work on yourself. You don't talk about growing mindset. Growing mindset is working on yourself without issue.
You have to work on yourself. You have to make sure yourself is the main priority. That's the first thing. So we'll talk about number 4, taking action. There's some action you have to take. You must take action, whether immediately or you have a to-do list that when you do that list, this is what you are going to do at a particular time, and that action will be carried out with immediate effect without looking back or without say okay, I will postpone it to tomorrow, without procrastination. You must take in action, because when you want to rebuild yourself, there must be an action you have to take. You can't say you want to rebuild yourself and you just sit down and say, okay, I want to sit down and I will not do anything. I talk in that number 3 that your mind need to be growing. Either when you want to take that action, you must be reading a book, you must be attending seminar, you must be learning a skill. You have to take that action. How long is that skill is going to be? Or you set a goal. Is it short time goal? Is it long time goal? How many years? How many months? How many weeks do you need in that area? So you must understand that you need to take a lot of action. When you talk about self-rebuilding, taking action, which is the last part, which is number 4, is very, very important. And we cannot overemphasize it. We cannot do without it. No, you have to take a lot of action. As a person, there must be an action you must take for you to succeed in the journey of life. You can't just be idle. You can't just sit down. When I talk about that man that is taking alcohol or that one that is a smoker, you have to take the action for leaving that alcohol. You must take the action for leaving that smoke. If you doesn't take the action and continuous taking it or continue doing it, okay, I say I don't want to do so and so. I didn't take action about it. I don't want this and that to happen to me. And you need to take action. Or someone that they don't like poverty, for instance, and that person was saying, okay, because I don't like poverty, it's not working. He's not having a plan. He doesn't have a goal. He doesn't have a target. How will he overcome poverty? He doesn't have a dream. He doesn't have a vision. These are the action that he must take, and he must plan toward that action for that thing to come to pass. When we talk about taking action, is wide, because you can take action in so many areas. Someone that failed exam, for instance, maybe after 1 or 2 times that you have failed exam, he need to take action to go and take the second or the third exam. Because if he doesn't take action, they will still remain a failure. So when we talk about taking action, it's not something that we can overemphasize. Or we can just say, okay, you must take action, because action is very, very important in whatever you are doing. Even if you have a plan, even if you have a goal, even if you have a vision, even if you have a dream, and you don't take action. If someone wants to become a medical doctor, for instance, and he didn't go to school, he didn't read book, he didn't learn from people, he didn't do anything, he just wake up one day and say, I'm a medical doctor. Is it possible? The other person has to pass through the process, which is taking the action bit by bit. Okay, this is what I will do for now. You will taught it and I will take it little by little. But some people did not understand when we talk about taking action. Taking action is not something that we can do without. Taking action is very, very important. When we talk about taking action is not something that someone can just wake up and say, okay, this is what I want to do. No. You want to travel or you want to do anything, there must be a plan. After the plan, you take the action. You can't say because you want to travel, for instance, and you sit down at home and say, what happened to you? You are just at home. You are not doing anything. You don't even go to the bus stop. You don't even go to where you bought the bus and you go to the destination where you want to travel to. That action is like when you travel. That action is like when you take a decision and you execute it immediately. Taking action is not something that we can overemphasize and we can do without. You must understand that taking action in the journey of life, when we talk about self-rebuilding is to transform either emotionally, physically, professionally, or mentally. Emotion, you have to transform yourself to a better person. Physically, transform yourself to a better person. When we talk about physically, there's some shape you don't like, because there's something you want to adjust about your body or yourself. That's, you have taken the transformation by what? By rebuilding yourself. And when you understand that taking action, it's what we're going to make you to succeed. Because when you take action, it's working for you. When you understand that I need to take action, I need to sit down, I need to do this and that. That's when you take action. Action is something that you need. And you don't want to be someone that will not say, okay, since I have this dream, and I didn't take action, what will happen to the dream? The dream will die. That's it. The dream have to die. But if you have a dream and you take action towards it, so that also when someone is developing or when someone is coming up or become a better person, you won't be what? You won't be running